Aethercast, the Kharadron Overlords podcast. I'm Lee, the Arcanine Admiral, and joined here by the Lord Magnate himself, Alexander Krohn, and our resident Longbeard, Hayden.
Hey!
So,
I like that. Resident Longbeard. I like that. If only I actually had a beard. That'd make things so much
It should be a long moustache instead.
Yeah, cheers.
Long moustache.
How do I lock this just on me? Because it keeps flicking to you guys.
And keeps going into the dimensions, apparently.
Okay. Don't know what's happening now. It's on. Can you guys see the?
Yes, I can see the list.
Tabletop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because it's the preview for me is just black in like my little right-hand corner. Okay, cool.
Let's talk about those lists.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, there's a tournament going on at the moment in Liverpool, UK, called the Justice Series Grand Tournament, and at the moment, Gary Percival is 3 games for O, doing really well.
God damn it, Gary!
So he's challenging Krohn for the Lord Magnate status. What's it back?
He will never get the People's Choice Award. Like Krohn did.
So let's start by going through some of these lists. Should we do Gary's last or first, or just see what order they come up in?
Everyone's here for Gary.
Yeah, he'll come up first. So let's go through Gary's. It looks pretty familiar. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty much standard clown car, except for the Lord Encanter. Wait, is there a Lord Encanter in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
There is somewhere, yeah. And Deus Arcanum as well.
Yep.
Even the Lord Encanter has a boat, kind of.
Yeah, a little small round flying frisbee boat.
Yeah, because what does Deus Arcanum do?
Movement 12. Is it 12? Basically, they fly around on it, and they get an extra spell.
Yeah.
So
it's similar to
interesting. You didn't take the comment.
It's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah.
And a lot of people like it. I tried it out. I bought the Stormcast and the spells just to run it, and then I wasn't that impressed because I don't know. Like the strength of KO is that you can put like a lot of force in one place with the shooting, and that just sort of I don't know. It's, sort of drops mortal wounds out just a little bit everywhere, doesn't it? Like it rains it.
You can zone.
You really want to. Sorry.
You can zone people away from an objective with it, using it.
Yeah, I guess you can if they're scared of it.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's just another utility piece that he can use, as the zone objectives to get a little bit of mortal wound output, and also just to get some, does it add to spell casting or unbinding?
So wait, are we still talking about the comet, or are we talking about the Deus Arcanum?
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about the Deus Arcanum.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
The one he has, yeah.
So basically, it's 12-inch move and you can fly, and I think you get an extra spell.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, cheers.
+1 to save as well, which is pretty cool.
It's a clown card.
Sorry?
So the KO in that list, it's a clown card list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it most definitely is.
Lots of balloon boys. Sky Wardens, Endon Riggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
The Sky Wardens are interesting, which I'm happy to see, but maybe it's just what he's got at the time, because obviously Sky Wardens have fallen out of popularity since the points change. But in the end, just the level of firepower and shit they can do is pretty good. I mean, he could have literally just got another 9 engine riggers and done the same thing and have the melee output. But in the end, it's cool to see. It's cool to see them around, and he knows what he's doing. The guy knows what he's up to, so I trust him.
They are very good against Nighthaunt. You charge.
Yeah, with the Sky Mines, yeah.
He's kitted them out for shooting. Like, that's 3 volley guns, 3 drill cannons.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 if he chemist buffs them. But
so good.
The thing is, like, it would probably be better being riggers, but for most of the game, like, the way he's going to use them, like, it's not going to make any difference, because he doesn't want that unit in combat for most of the game. He wants
most certainly not.
And he doesn't want it that, like, you get a bit of extra range of the Endron Riggers pistols, but he doesn't probably want them that close to the enemy units. He doesn't want them within 12 inches for most of the game. Like, I mean,
the reason I'd make them. Sorry?
I mean, at later stages, it would be better to have them as riggers, probably.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, because, like, they're a good redundancy, so if it, does happen to it, to be charged or whatever, and it doesn't happen to kill them all, it still has a chance to fight back and do some decent damage to the unit that charged it.
Yeah.
Or it can be like an assassination piece, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look at the Deus Arcanum. It's got a really good ability.
What's that?
It doesn't add 1 to your casting rolls. It just lets it, from the looks of it, it just lets you automatically dispel spells.
Oh, that's good.
Automatically. I thought this gave like an extra attempt.
No, that just sorry. That's it. It just lets you dispel the Deus. Okay.
Okay.
I know, it just says you get 12-inch move, you get +1 save. I'm not seeing anything about getting +1 to cast.
No, I didn't think it was +1. I thought it was like you got, like, if you cast it, you can still do another spell or something, but maybe not. Oh yeah, while a model is on a Deus Arcanum, it can attempt to unbind 1 extra spell in each enemy hero phase. So he's got 2 unbinds.
All right.
So for 40
Nice.
points, it's like having 2 wizards almost. But you can't cast 2 spells. But...
Yeah.
And
well, that's pretty cool.
Also, that the +1 to save is a straight +1. It's not that you count as cover. So if he's in cover, he's got +2 to his save. That's like, and then when you consider the 9 encounters on a 3+ anyway, that's pretty good. I mean, obviously a 1+, a 1 always fails, but it's good to account for rend.
Yeah. Here's a question: what does the Thermal Rider Cloak do? It's the artifact of a chemist.
Gives you fly and +4 movement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's close. Oh. I mean, the chemist has got to keep up with the riggers, hasn't he?
The zoomy fucking chemist. I love it.
I'd love to know if he's actually... Gary, I don't know if you're watching or if you're... I think, well, you're probably not, because I know the guys at the Just Play Games store set up like a big lock-in, basically, a big party. So he's probably having a well of a time. He's probably not watching us. He's probably got much better things to do. But if you are, I'd love to know if you've got a cloak on that guy. Like, if you've actually modelled one. That'd be cool. Or whether he's got like a balloon. Like, whether he's given the chemist a balloon to model it, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, little Enderman.
Yeah.
That's a good conversion.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I like the list. I like the volley gun on the Arcanor. On the Ironclad. You don't really see that often. Because for me at least, when I was playing, it used to be just the Great Sky Cannon. But I suppose the volley gun, does have more of a chance of actually wounding shit.
I mean, I would always take the volley cannon on the Ironclad.
Yeah,
that's what I've always done when I played in the past.
I agree with the volley gun. It's got a higher maximum damage. It's more reliable. It's just, I think, overall better than the cannon.
What's Stan sending us pictures? What's he doing?
It's all right.
6 million years to load that picture.
That's all right.
So, yeah, should we move on to the next list? Because let's face it, we know everyone knows about Kakar, really. And
we know what he's playing next, right? He's playing Kharadron.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a hard game.
It's going to be hard. Do we know what the mission is, though? Because if it's certain missions, he doesn't actually have to fight them. He just has to take the objective and win.
Yeah, true.
I don't think we know until tomorrow. I don't think that's announced until then. I think the only thing we know is I did look at the pack, and all the pack basically says they're not using Relocation Orb or Better Part of Valor. So we know it's not those two.
All right.
And there's nothing to say what 3 missions they played so far today either.
It could be Knife to the Heart. I can see him winning that one.
Oh, I do know one of the ones they played today because Gary was in the WhatsApp chat and he said that they had Border War for the first game, I think.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the the second KO player. So this is Urbaz. We've got Admiral with Doughty Champion. He's the general. Chemist with an Earbuster. Another chemist with Ignite Scales. And a Knight Azeroth.
Yeah.
2 times 20 Arcanauts. And then 10 Arcanauts, all with Skyhooks.
Nice.
Never a bad
He doesn't
thing.
have a battalion.
No. So this is...
Wait,
this is high, and there's no ships, so this is high drop.
Yeah, I was just asking because if the realm artifacts, can they be added even so he's got 2 artifacts here? Does do the realm artifacts come in as an extra artifact even if you don't have a battalion?
Yeah, as long as you basically whenever you have an artifact, you can choose between either your allegiance ability or the realm you're from.
Yeah, okay. No, it's just I know because usually if you didn't have a battalion, you wouldn't be able to take 2 artifacts.
No.
But no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even if you only had one artifact slot, though, you could do it with a realm artifact rather than an allegiance.
Oh, okay. No, fair enough. But no, this is cool. It's pretty standard for Urbaz, I think. No ships, lots of Arcanauts, lots of Skyhooks, just pissing fucking -2 shots all around the board. It's going to be very slow apart from the engine riggers. But apart from that, I think it's the coolest.
I mean, he's got a lot of riggers there.
He's got 4 drill cannons.
Yeah, and that was something I wanted to... because basically the good thing, as a part of the reason why Gary's probably got those Sky Wardens with shooting is because obviously if you do come up against Sylvaneth, you can still shoot because the line of sight from the trees doesn't block flying units, does it? So four drill cannons is a good call. Although, and because it's Urbaz, obviously he can always buff them because he's got 4 buffs there.
Yeah.
So,
it's cool. The Knight of Zeros as well for that. It's +1 to hit, isn't it?
It's reroll
for a target. Re-roll to hit for units within 10 inches, isn't it?
I think any unit within 12 inches.
Oh, okay.
Was it 9?
Yeah.
I think it's 12.
I'm pretty sure it's 10 inches. I'm pretty sure it's 10 inches because I used him at Masters a couple of years ago, and he didn't do that well for me. But
Okay.
No, I tried him at it's kind of lackluster, but he can capture objectives. And he's a target. He's a distraction to effects.
Well, he does have more wound from as well, so that's filling a hole that KO can't do.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing I want to point out about the Knight Azeroth, for anyone that doesn't know, is basically that his rule got changed when the Stormcast book came out, the latest one, and so that affects combat now as well as shooting. It used to be just shooting, didn't it?
Oh, cool.
So that's reroll hit rolls are 1 now for the riggers in combat.
Gross.
That's just great. Like hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. I mean that's going to have a if he sends that unit of 9 riggers in, or the 12 actually. That's going to have a big impact.
So he's doing Bagzon's ability for them.
Yeah.
So even less reason.
Bagzon is hits and wounds, though, isn't it? I think.
What Bagzon?
Who cares about Zon though?
Who actually plays Zon?
Nobody. One thing that is interesting is what's this guy's name? Tom. Tom has gone for 3 grapnel launchers on his unit of 9 riggers. And I think
we've got to make.
Let me just check. I think Gary's only got 2.
Huh.
Ooh.
Which I'm sure I remember him saying last, back when he was playing KO before, he always went for 3. Maybe he's not so bothered about getting that charge with them.
Yeah, I only ever took 2 personally, but that's just me.
2 guys hoping for
sometimes you get
good odds.
Yeah, so you either get the luck or you don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've ran 3 and had all 3 fail. And it's so annoying. It's like the worst thing in the world. But like equally, the last tournament I played in, I ran 3, but after the first turn they went in, they killed something, and then I double turned and they zipped across the board again. They'd taken some wounds, so there was only 2 left because obviously you take them off first, and they failed. But then I got an 11-inch charge anyway. So I don't think my opponent was that happy, but I mean, swings and roundabouts. You get the luck and you don't. Sometimes, I mean, maybe part of Gary's thinking is there because now you can use a command point to re-roll a charge. He can maybe sacrifice that little bit of reliability there to get some extra power.
Yeah. So are there any other KO lists, or is it the only one?
There's one more.
Oh, cool.
Gonna be controversial here. I'm not sure this is actually a legal list.
Barak Nah. Surprised he's not taking a navigator if he's taking Barak Nah.
Well, I mean, looking at that, I don't think it's a competitive list, is it? I think it's a fun list. I mean, he's got a mortar in there with 100s, so I think he's taken what he likes.
Yeah, he's not maxed out his Skyhawks on his units. It's like this could literally just be a newer guy who's just taking what he's got. It's just fair enough. But no, competitive wise, nah. I mean, he's taking an Endra Master for 1. It's just cool. Like, it's always good to see them on the board. But
they look cool as well. Yeah. I mean, and he's got.
I've seen more of it now. Okay, there we go. This is definitely a fun list, team, but it's a cool list.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the boat. It's cool because he's got boats.
He's got 2 gun haulers. Holy fuck!
What I thought was strange was his command trait is Dauntless, which is from Order, which I thought you had to stick to either your allegiance or faction. Or Babylon. So I don't think he can do that.
That's a good point. Yeah, we'll consult the Book of Grudges later, I suppose, in regards to that one.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. This is an interesting one anyway, because that's basically lets you reroll a charge, which, now you can do that with a command ability. Would you take that as a
Yeah.
trait? Because you might only use that once per game anyway, at most.
Yeah.
So, because it's only re-roll a charge on your general as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's not really that useful.
The Engine Master is our best combat character, so there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Sick model too.
Yeah, it's a little anvil on the
The thing is, if you wanted to get a free re-roll charge, you could take the footnote instead of. Oh wait, hang on. Surrender is very profitable. That is the one where you get a re-roll charge, isn't it?
Ooh.
Is he doubling up?
Consult the book.
I have the books here actually because I knew I'd need to do this. I'm sure.
Yeah, my book is somewhere in the garage.
It's not. That's the one where you get to change a battleship roll to a 1.
Oh, yeah?
A relatively decent, but I mean, I'd rather have Prospector. But yeah, because he hasn't got command points, so that's why he's got that. Because he doesn't want to lose a load of stuff. Although,
yeah,
I mean,
but no, I was just looking at.
I'm just thinking though, does he really need that? I mean, everything's going to be inside a ship at the beginning, isn't it? Because you've got an ironclad and a frigate. So you get 20 Arcanauts. Oh, there'll be 1 unit out of the ship.
Yeah, because he's taking a frigate, I think, isn't he? Oh, sorry, no, I lied. And an ironclad. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, everything could be in a ship because you'd have 20 Arcanauts and your heroes in the ironclad potentially, and then 10 Arcanauts and the Thunderers would be 15 in the frigate, or you put the heroes in the Thunderers in the ironclad, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Can you take multiples of Great Engine Works?
Well, that's debatable whether you can take multiples of the same one because
he's got 3 of the same one there.
But he can't have that many artifacts of power anyway. Because
exactly.
And he's Barrett Nar, so you don't. He hasn't got that many engine works.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally, I mean, like
yeah, he's got no battalion, I think. No battalion there. Am I missing anything?
No. Yeah.
I mean, it could just be a mistake on list builder or something.
Yeah.
No, you went.
But it's a fun list, I think. We'll see how he goes. But yeah,
if you could have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's right.
I was going to say, if you could have incredible self-healing hull on all 3 of those, on all those ships, then that'd be pretty cool because the ironclad would be passing off wounds to the to the gun haulers.
To the gun haulers who would then be just healing themselves. Yeah,
healing as well. Although he hasn't got self-healing hull on the ironclad, which would be the one that you'd think that would be your big target, the one that with all the big wounds. I think there's probably a mistake there because I don't know. I think that's just all 3. I don't know if there's anyone using any allies or not. Have a look quick.
Well, best of luck to Gary.
Yeah. So, see if there's anyone else with any KO stuff. I think there's not. Sometimes you have someone like allying in some Arcanauts or something, don't you? Or like a mixed order.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it.
How big's the tournament?
30-something people, I think.
Let's have a look. I think they said, because I've been listening to their podcast, because these the owners of the store, they've got a good podcast as well. Called Just Saying. And yeah, people should check that out because that's cool. And they talk about all the competitive stuff.
Are those the same guys that had a bit of a cheeky stab at the New Zealand and Australian meta? Is that the same guy? All the same guys?
I don't know. They did have a bit of controversy because they were basically saying that you shouldn't use sports scores for
Tournaments.
tiebreakers.
Oh, okay.
So they caused a bit of a stir with that, but
Right,
they're good
No,
guys.
fair enough. I was just curious.
I think they said that there was about 50 people overall. I think. Oh no, this is doubling up. Oh no, I go on the ladder. It'll tell me, won't it? This website. I'm loving this. I didn't know about this until today, but this website is really cool for following what's happening in a tournament.
We're doing the same
everything.
thing down here in New Zealand.
42 players. That's how many.
That's not bad.
This is the list we were just looking at. Unfortunately.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Oh no.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right.
He's treading in the footsteps of other KO players, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I suppose we'll discuss that later in regards to getting into KO and all stuff like that, especially in the competitive scene. Yeah.
Let's see where Gary is. Well, I already know where he is, but there he is, third.
Where is he?
Yeah,
third. Hey.
third. Up there.
Yeah, I think he was actually on the top table for one of his games, which considering he's won all three, I think that's. I don't know how he then dropped down. I mean, it's point scores and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for
So
yeah, it's for it'll be for whatever that second stat is. I don't know what it is. Oh, secondary objectives. Is that it?
Yeah.
oh yeah, strength of schedule, extended strength of schedule.
Well, no, just disregard. Actually, he's actually above that other guy. Who knows? But he's up against some pretty top league lists there. I'm interested to see what the host of Slaanesh guy does, because I've never really seen them go up that top that much.
Yeah, I mean, before we talk about like what he could face tomorrow, do you want to just quickly look? Well, first of all, let's see where Tom Fields is. He's the other KO player. Do you see his name? I should have just searched for it, shouldn't I?
Yeah, that's all right.
There he
is.
And he's part of the team from the store.
Cool.
So he's playing. He's on home turf, as it were.
Well, he's got one win, so I suppose that's good. And he's on 2 losses. I don't know. He could. I don't know. We'll see how he goes with his next matchups. So
I mean, he should. Well, I don't think at this tournament he's going to be facing really any poor players. But I think he should be hopefully on his next list get a couple of easier games, maybe. Just by virtue of being sort of lower down the pack, and then obviously.
Are there any Legions of Nagash players in there? Because I don't really see any. Disregard. There's one right there.
You can actually do this website's so cool. Look, here you go. So KO is quite big there. It's mostly Stormcast.
Megaton, Nurgle, Sylvaneth. I've seen Legions of Nagash. Yeah.
Tell me how many.
And there's a few Gloomspite Gits players, so that's cool.
Yeah, well, they were on the top tables earlier on. If we go on to the rounds, let's have a look at it. So let's go to round 1. So Gary had Andy Campbell first, who had, what did he have? He had a list of something.
He had a list.
I'm pretty sure he had. Oh, here we go. I'm pretty sure he had Skaven because Gary was sort of sharing pictures and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I think he had lots of plague monks. Oh yeah, lots of plague monks. 120 plague monks.
Oh god.
Wow. This is on Border War where you actually have to hold and keep objectives. So that's pretty impressive that he was able to destroy all those.
Yeah, with all those bodies.
Yeah.
Well, I think because Gary was posting pictures, and I think he tabled the opponent all except for like one unit or something, or one.
Holy shit!
He nearly tabled him.
How is he doing that?
Just really good dice rolls.
It's Gary, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, he's a freak of nature.
We don't have any wizards in our army, but Gary is his own wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
So
disgusting.
yeah, I can't see his name anymore. Oh, it's come back to round 4. That's why. So yeah,
So that was round 1.
1,810 kill points. Let's have a look at Tom Fields. He was playing. What did he have?
He had
Doors
things.
again.
Oh, yep, Hagnar. Standard.
Hagnar. But,
Arathi, yep, that'll do it. And a lot of Sisters of Slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, you can have you can have Ren 3 if you want on drill cannons, and you can have Ren 2 on skyhooks if you want. But if they're rolling a 5+ rerollable after you roll for damage on them, then you're still not getting many through.
Nah, fuck no. Yeah,
Mind Razor as well against our Bravery 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially on those big ass units of Arcanauts that he was taking as well. It's not going to go well.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have massive units, by Krohn standards. He had 2 units at 20, but
yeah.
Yep.
Screw that.
Sisters Slaughter.
Slaughter Troop. Yep.
Oh, yeah, so they were. Slaughter Troop's the one that lets you retreat and charge and all sorts of shenanigans, isn't it?
Yeah, so he just would have come up the board and just hogged him down. He wouldn't have been able to move. Yeah, nah. It would have been a bad time.
Slaughter's always tough.
You don't want something that can retreat and charge, when you're playing a gun line, because they just get onto your screen and then go past it, basically.
Yeah.
You can't beat them I don't think we can actually fight them conventionally to win. We can just hold the objectives. We need to hold objectives against Slaughter's.
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do.
Yeah, the other problem with this list is he's got Marathi, so again, you can have all the shooting you want, but you can only put 3 wounds on her.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a bit of a rough one. We're so sorry, Tom. We pray for you.
Yeah. 3 hags. So,
excuse me.
There's everything that can be battle shock immune as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did he have an earbuster? I think he did, didn't he?
I think he did.
But, I mean, yeah. Normally, you'd think, you try and take out the Cauldron and the Hag Queen, but when there's 3 of them, it's we'll take.
Yeah, it's not going to go well.
Not going to help much, is it? Let's go to round 2. See what happened there.
Cool.
Well, how was Gary fighting round 2?
Are any of you guys keeping an eye on the chat?
What, you mean the KO chat?
No, on YouTube, just in case. Because
I'm on my phone, so I can't, because it'll probably cut out.
Let me just have a look.
No.
Make sure there's. Oh.
I mean, if you can give it a go, but who knows?
It's going to start auto playing if I go. I don't want to mess around with it.
No, I'll go and check. I'll go and check. I can exit out of the call and still be in it.
Yeah, they're probably calling
can you?
I think I'm in. Am I still in the call?
Yes, you're still in the call. Right.
All right.
Tom Lees. Oh, sorry, Ernie Davies. Oh yeah, a Nurgle list with 40.
Yeah.
The plague monks. Gross.
Yeah, so he basically had Skaven twice in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Nurgle, but it's basically Skaven.
Yeah. I mean, plague monks in Megakin is gross. They're so fucking good.
And I think Gary said he did table this opponent.
Wow.
So I like.
All right. I'm keeping an eye on the live chat. Don't worry.
Is there a chat?
There's one person here.
Is he chatting though? Is he chatting? Is he talking to himself?
No.
Well, hello, Who is in the chat? Do they have a name? Can you see that?
No,
No. Well,
I
hello
don't think
to
so.
whoever's in the chat. Thank you for watching. Us make a fool of ourselves. Yeah. Anything else to say about this list, really?
Nah, it's gross. But hey, he
well-
beat him, so good on you, Gary.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be nice to know what battle plan it was, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the only thing about this website. It doesn't tell you that unless I'm like unless there's somewhere to see it, and I don't know. But should we have a look at Tom as well? See where he was.
Stuart Miller. I think that's
Oh.
Legion of Gash player. Oh, sorry, Legion of Sacrament. Ooh,
Yeah.
yep.
Arcan. So lots of magic.
Arcan.
Vampire on Zombie Dragon.
Yeah, this looks very familiar because I've got a couple of mates that like to play Death, and they normally play Legion of the Sacrament.
Ooh, 240 blocks of Skellies as well. Ouch. That shit ain't going away.
I mean, we can deal with skeletons. They're not too. Grimbar's Reapers are worse by far. 20 Grimbar's Reapers, they're ignoring Ren. They've got Cogs as well, so he can shove those Reapers across the board quick.
Well,
the Zombie Dragon's ignoring Ren as well. So I can see how Tom lost this.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup at all.
I mean, it's Arcan's a general, and like if he could kill Arcan, that's important because then obviously they can't bring any units back with a command point.
Yeah.
How many was there? 2 necromancers as well. And all those spells like because Tom didn't have any magic in his list, did he, or any unbinds?
Nah. It was only Urbez.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't even use one of his artifacts to get an unbind, did he?
Nah.
No. I mean, so he's just letting all those spells come at him then. Fading Vigor, which is the one that's like, is it -1 to wound and -1 to bravery, or something like that. I think it's something like
that. Then Arcan uses and can eliminate entire Arcanaut blobs in a single spell. Get lucky with that thing.
No, sorry, what was that? Are you talking about Arcan's spell?
Arcan's Curse of Years,
Yeah.
Eliminate an entire squad if he's lucky.
Yeah, I'll tell you what else that can do. That can take out 12 Endrin Riggers as well. Not that I'm bitter at all, but
that sounds like experience.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's experience. And I had a mixed unit. Or maybe it might have only been 9 Endrin Riggers because I was playing in a 1,000-point game.
Right.
So I had a mixed unit, so I get a bit of shooting from them as well as the combat. And I got a bit greedy, and I moved them within 24 inches of him, so that they could take some pot shots at him. And of course, as soon as I moved within 24 inches of him, I was also in range of his spell.
Yep.
And you should have kept away.
More than 1+.
He just got to infinite wounds basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd be interesting to know if he got it off in this game or not. But yeah, I mean, Death is very strong, and yeah, I can see this list being a problem if you can't. I mean, it depends on the battle plan as well. But
you need to focus the heroes down real quick. Stop them from summoning. Stop them from ignoring battle shock with their big units. Just you need to skyhook the generals.
You need to get rid of all the characters, and then you can sort of go from there. But this is how KO plays as well.
But the thing is with, I mean, he had those Endrin Riggers that were with the 4 drill cannons, didn't he? So he
did.
But I mean, like, How many drops was he? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think
9
he was.
drops. And he was
Oh,
1,
no,
2,
actually.
3, 4, 5. Was he 7? So he would have outdropped, and he could have maybe. But it depends what terrain. If Arcan's sitting behind something blocking line of sight, then a lot of people say oh yeah, Arcan's not that good because he's pretty easy to kill. But I mean, if you hide behind screens, so people can't get to him, and you block line of sight, then you can't shoot him. And then it doesn't matter how easy it is to kill something. If you can't actually attack it, you can't
Physically,
kill it.
Yeah.
So it's like I can see, what's his name? Is it Stuart? Yeah, Stuart. If Stuart hid him somewhere or something, then he wouldn't have been able to kill him. And then if you went forward trying to get closer to him, then you just go into range of skeletons and zombie dragons to come at you next turn and stuff.
Yeah.
Agreed. Poor fella.
Let's go on to. Do you reckon? Should we look at? What was his name? Ian. Should we look to see who he played in these 2 rounds?
Sure.
Why not? Yes. He's a KO player. He deserves to be.
Yeah, he deserves it. There we go. He's up the top.
Which side? Where am I looking?
He's on the left-hand side on the top of the board. Way up. Go up. Go up.
Oh, right. I think I'm at the top of my... Oh, yeah. Here we go.
There we go. Playing Chris Carroll.
Oh, he didn't get many kill points.
No.
We had a chat. We've had a chat. Juan David Camacho. Sorry, I probably butchered that name, but thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for the info. Hey, no worries.
We're here to serve. We're here to please. Allegiance Chaos. Okay.
What have we got? Oh, Grace here. Oh, so it's Skaven.
Yeah, it's mixed Skaven.
Big old Skaven. So it's. I mean, the new the Grey Seers are really good now. Plague monks. Plague monks. There's bodies there. There's lots of bodies. He's got Prismatic Palisade.
Yeah.
Warp Lightning.
Soul Snare Shackles.
And he's got the Warp Lightning Vortex and Soul Snare Shackles. God, don't say that when you've been drinking.
He's playing the control game.
So, yeah. I wouldn't want to play against that. That would not be fun. Although the one thing is, which is good for us in the current meta, is if this sort of control game does become a thing. And I know, what's his name from the Honest Wargamer? He's gone to Adepticon. He said he was going to be taking a control game thing. But with our grapnel launchers, we can get out of that. It's fine. Because it doesn't stop your grapnel launchers, so you can just zip off 24 inches away and get out of that whatever little bubble they create where you can't move.
That's true.
It's something worth. Yeah, I can imagine this was not a fun game for him to play.
No, it's certainly not.
He's got 2 warp lightning cannons as well, so he's shooting back. He's stopping him moving, and he just had all the bodies. And he's trying to shoot back with his gun haulers. And then trying to re-rolling your charge on your engine rig on that's not much help when he can't actually move anywhere because of the vortex and the shackles.
Yep.
Was that round 1? Look at round 2. Okay, let's play. Find the name. Oh, there he is. Easy. Only playing Warhammer. Is that easy? Stormcast. This is the shooty Stormcast list. I was looking at this earlier because this list in round 3 tabled Gristle Gore, Flesh Eater Courts, and like it was the only game that was finished when I was looking. All the other games were playing on for like another hour, and he just tabled the Flesh Eater Courts. So yeah, this actually probably outshot his KO list.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because he 3 ballistic, +2 to hit in total with the Hurricane and the Ordinator. Night Azeroth, so it was re-rolling ones, and then he's got Judicators as well. And so he probably just shot him off
the board.
Did he have a chemist in his list? Actually,
yes.
He would have shot the chemist first, probably. Shot off anything else. Shot off any riggers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then left the gun haulers and the ships to last, I would have imagined.
Yeah, I think against a list like that, you have to be really aggressive. You have to deploy at the 12-inch at the deployment line and just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps if you've got, some way of projecting your power somewhere, like with melee as well, because this is basically a gun line, and you don't want to be playing a gun line versus a gun line and have the weaker one, or have the one with slightly less range.
Oh, Celestial Hurricanum as well.
Yeah. So he's got +1 to hit from that, and from the Lord Ordinator.
Man, I wish we could get the Hurricanum as an ally.
Yeah,
that'd be so good, wouldn't it?
I would. We'll talk about it later a bit, but that's like, if you're going to get Mixed Order or Tempest Eye, you could ally in, but it's 380 points. But you can ally one in, and it's a wizard, and it's got wounds.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to round 3.
Yep.
We've got power through this. Gary was on top table for this one.
Good on him.
And he won.
Yeah, top table.
He won.
3-0.
Good on him.
Gloomspike Gits.
Cool. A lot of stabbers.
Yeah.
Boyd got bounders. Yep. That makes sense. The Boyd got ground bounders are like our engine riggers, I think.
Yeah. Are they the ones that have random movement though?
No. Actually, or are they? I'll have a look.
They also have a better armor save than our frigates, somehow.
Yeah.
Everything does.
Yeah, armored balls of teeth. Oh,
do you have a plastic carrier bag? Yes, then it's got a better armor save than our ships.
Let's have a look.
Construction. Right. They could make an army.
I've got bounders. Oh no, actually they've got a 2d6 move. They've got with their poke and lance, they've got 2 attacks, 4s and 4s, -1 damage. Fangfield more gob. 2 attacks, 4s and 4s, -1 damage. But there's a rule here, I know, that makes them really gross. Oh. Pick one unit within 1 inch. Yeah, so after the unit makes a charge, any unit within 1 inch on a 4 up that unit suffers a mortal wound. And add 1 to the wound rolls for attacks made with this unit's poke and lances if they made a charge. So they're hitting on 3s and there's 2 attacks each. And if you're taking 15 of them, that's a lot. It's a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
That are hitting on 3s. I mean, yeah, sure, they're winning on 4s, but either way. And they've got a 4-up save, and they've got 2 wounds each, so they're pretty tough.
But I'm guessing Gary with Clown Car was able to get the drop on them and actually charge them, bypassing a lot of those rules.
Yeah, well, Gary would have outdropped him because there's no battalion there, is there? So
yeah, exactly. It would have been,
I guess I don't know whether he would have gone first or whether he would have let them go first. I don't know what
push up.
Yeah. They've got a lot of bodies there, and I don't know if they could just sort of spread out across the board and zone off a lot of areas. So he might have gone first.
I think with Clown Car first.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because this
it
list is
depends on
pretty
your
quick.
Like, I don't think, I mean, I don't think I would want to let them go first. I mean, and it depends on their battle plan as well. Because if they can go first and just come across the table and, like, I mean, we know Better Part of Valor wasn't in the tournament pack, but, you know, if it was something like that or Scorched Earth, and then because Gary would just have, 2 units of Arkanauts on the table and his Knight Incantor.
Yeah.
So he probably went first.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then probably took out heroes because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Took out heroes, charge something, put them on the back foot basically, and then let them react. If you've not played against Clown Guard before and you suddenly just get hit by all that.
Yeah, it's shock and all fair factor as well.
I mean, it basically lets you concentrate your entire army on one small section of the board.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Is it Tom? Well, yeah, it's Tom Lee's. He's part of Team Just Play, so he will have played against KO before.
Yeah, guaranteed.
He probably knows what it could do, but equally, you know, just because you know what something does doesn't mean you can necessarily stop it from doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the wrong thing. Let's go on the rounds. Let's find another Tom. Let's find Tom Fields. See what he's been up to. Tell me if you see his name.
There he is. Number 18.
There he is. Okay. Oh, Luke Bauer. That's a good
major loss. Oh, but he got a lot of kill points, so he would have lost on points.
No, he won.
Oh, wait, no, I lie. He won. Disregard.
Yeah. He won one of his 3 games. This would have been it.
He obviously lost his first 2, and now he's started to claw his way back up the pack.
Submarining.
Yeah.
Submarine engaged.
But he won though, so
that's pretty good. Is it a null route? Yep. It's a null route.
Where is it? Where?
Classic.
There it is. Yeah, it is. I keep looking at the text in bold rather than the text in grey. Yeah. Yeah,
it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Classic.
That's the one that doesn't let you retreat, isn't it? The null route.
I can't remember. I think it's.
I shall look.
Can't remember. All I know is if I play against I lose. That's what I know.
Sylvaneth, where are you? There you are. Yay for the AOS app.
But it'll be 1 drop. I know that much.
Yeah.
Sylvaneth usually are.
It'll be 1 drop first, and it would put his trees down, and yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to play against this with Clown Card because it would spread out, put loads of trees everywhere, and you'd be like, right, well, I'll try and put my ship on top of that forest or something.
Oh, no,
I always really struggled against null route.
Yeah.
You can definitely put the ship on top of the forest, and with that many Bloom Boys, it wouldn't even hamper his shooting. Really, he just shoot over it.
Yeah.
I think he would have a really good list against Sylvaneth. But this was Tom who was playing against these guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, so his list is it's just too slow.
Yeah, but
I thought he won this one.
He won it. I mean,
I keep forgetting that.
He had those
because I just always assumed that KO did bad. It's pretty impressive.
He had 4 drill cannons, obviously, which can shoot through the trees.
For sure. They're N3.
He got a Lariel? No, he hasn't got a Lariel. So, because I mean,
no, people have really gone off of Valerial. I think she's not. Sylvaneth players don't really like Alarielle right now.
Yeah.
The last time I played against them, the player had Alarielle. It was Jimbo actually. The last time I played against him, Jimbo from Mitzi and Jimbo, and he
Cool.
he completely whomped me. I did terrible.
Juan's got a question.
Okay, ask away.
Can you explain, please, the interaction between Fleetmaster and Aethospheric Endurance? I don't get why read with Deep Strike.
Okay, so what? Yeah, should I field that?
Yep,
Yeah.
Go ahead, mate.
Yeah. So this is probably a good time to basically give a shout out to AOS Shorts, because if you go back, they did a video with Gary after Gary came third in the big tournament. And so if you want to know more about how Gary plays his clown card, then I'd definitely advise watching that. But basically, I think what he does some of the time is he deploys the ship on the table, and then after everything's set up, he uses Fleetmaster to take it off the table and then put it in the sky, because it lets you redeploy the ship according to the rules, and the rules for that ship are you can put it in the sky.
So you kind of psych out your opponent.
Yeah. So, yeah, you basically, if your opponent's not really aware that you can do that, you can do a couple of things, because you can you can put it on the table and just basically tell your opponent, by the way, I can move this later on. So your opponent's like, oh, God, that ship's going to move somewhere. So they don't really know where to deploy things. But they probably don't realize is he can move it and then just take it off the table and just put it in the sky as well, which means it can go anywhere but not in your deployment zone. And then that's hard to deploy against. It's hard to deploy against Clown Car anyway, in some ways, because you've got zone out space, and if you haven't got the bodies to just stop it, someone putting a ship somewhere where you don't want it, that's tough. And then obviously, if you don't know whether it's going to be on the table, and there's riggers are going to pop out with their grapnels, and everything can shoot anyway for 24 inches, or it could be 9 inches from you.
Yeah.
You can't do it the opposite way around though. The way it's worded, you can't put the ship in the sky and then redeploy it onto the table, because it basically the way Fleetmaster is worded. Let me just double check. I'm fairly sure it's worded that you can take it off the table and redeploy it. Just double check. I don't know why I'm flicking through the book here, because this might be one of the few things that is actually still as it is written in the book. Because everything else is not how it's written in the book, is it?
On the FAQ. I guess personally, the reason I don't like Clown Car so much is because it seems so much like an all or nothing. So
it really is.
If the Clown Car attack fails, you've got nothing to back that up with.
No, I mean, you could still do a Clown Car and have something to back it up with, like. If you didn't have, say, if you had in that ship one unit of riggers and you didn't have the Sky Wardens, so you just had extra Arcanauts, so you had one big unit of Arcanauts, basically similar to your list, Alex, but basically swap the Thunders for engine riggers and stuff.
Having the Clown Cars secondary, but your gun line being your primary damage dealer.
Yeah, well, you can do it the opposite way around. You can still have your Clown Car as your primary damage dealer, but you can bump up one of your units of Arcanauts that's on the table to say 20 or 30 Arcanauts, just so you've got something that isn't all in the air.
Yeah, I should do that.
Having all your eggs in that one basket is a bit of a benefit as well, because if you are playing against someone that kind of relies on an alpha striking but can't zone out the table, or they just can't really do anything or they rely on say shooting you, but if you're not on the table, then they can't do anything, can they? It's the ultimate defense not being on the table, isn't it? In some way.
Can't. You're immune. You will always alpha strike the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing
Yeah.
better part of Valor, in which case you could just lose the game
That's
Yeah.
true.
without doing anything. Because
Right. So what's next?
yeah, we got distracted. But hopefully
That's all right.
that answers the guy's question. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I'm rubbish at everything.
He says thanks.
Cool.
Good on him.
So that was
Tom.
who Tom was playing. So Ian was playing. Oh, have we already looked at this one? That Stuart Miller's name looks familiar. Or is
Yeah,
that-
it was the Legions of Sacrament list.
So why
Holy
was
shit, he tabled him.
Wait, how come that was so? How is that Legion of Sacrament list so low down?
Probably because he lost to someone.
Yeah. I mean, we're not here to talk about Legion of Sacrament, are we? I'm intrigued.
fuck that list.
But let's not talk about it now.
We're not here to talk about magic.
No.
Yeah, screw magic.
I would say that they can bugger off and die, but they've already done that. So I just stay dead. Don't come back. Don't come back on a command point.
Yeah, so round 4, the matchups.
Yeah.
So
Gary
he's playing
just-
Chris Young.
Yeah.
Gary just mentioned. Gary just started talking in the chat.
Yay! Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary. Well done.
Hey, Gary.
Good work, Gary.
Super well.
You've come back to the fold.
Yep. He's back.
I will
Back for the
continue to give
vengeance.
you shit, however.
Lord Magnate in the
Believe me.
making.
No, there's only one Lord Magnate, and that's you.
He can be second
Vice
we-
Lord
we-
Magnate.
Vice Lord
We'll
Magnate.
give it a title. We'll see what happens. We'll see
Chris
how
Young.
we'll see how well he does, and with that will determine how cool of a title he gets.
Yeah.
I mean, or he could just stick with "God damn it, Gary."
Well, he pretty much is
That's
now.
what we bring to it.
I like his name up on the tournament scores. Yeah. God damn it, Gary.
Oh,
Yeah, so Calibron, that'll be fun.
yeah, -1 is not nice. Ooh. A lot of snakes.
Catechism of Murder, obviously, because you take
A lot of
Catechism
snakes.
Murder. Mind Razor, obviously.
Temple Nest.
Only one Hag Queen. So, Marathi.
Yeah, well, it seems to me that the guys put all of his eggs into the temple nest. Cricket. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what Temple Nest does now. I did look it up. And I've forgotten.
Temple Nest. It means it's a whole bunch of snakes. It if you miss them in combat, if you roll a dice and you miss, take a mortal wound.
Oh!
Yeah, isn't it on a? It's on a 1, isn't it? If you roll a 1
no,
to hit them in combat, or is it all misses?
I think it's all misses. Daughters of Cain, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Either way, basically, if you attack them in melee, you take mortal wounds.
Pretty much.
If you miss.
Some of
Regardless
the
of whether
Eden
it's a
riggers
1
need to
or-
do a lot of work.
Yeah, -3 to
yeah.
-3 to hit Morathi in a little form. So that's
Blood Sisters don't count as flying, do they? They're not one of these crazy things that,
yeah.
No.
even though they don't have wings, they some things like you look at them like, why do they have fly?
Yeah.
It's when you roll one.
Because
When
if he was re-rolling ones, he'd be good. He'd be golden.
Yeah. No,
I'm pretty sure they don't.
yeah.
So don't punch
Oh, he's got an assassin as well. That's interesting.
Oh, he does.
don't punch the snakes. Shoot them.
Yeah, just don't hit the snakes.
Yeah, but you can't shoot them because they're -1.
Oh,
Well, you
fuck.
can.
Do we know what the mission is?
No. Ask Gary. Tell us what the mission. If you know. I mean, you might not. You might not find out till tomorrow. But is he answering?
He's probably like, you idiots don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking to me. I'm the man himself.
He probably got annoyed because
Malevolent Maelstrom.
Yeah,
I've never seen that spell used.
Yes, no one knows the mission. No one knows the mission. It's a mystery.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Richie and
nice
Ian,
for the heart.
unless they're rolling for it, Richie and Ian probably know, but they're not here. Go ask them, Gary. Go get them drunk so you can find out and plan for tomorrow. They're probably drunk already. They're probably having a whale of the time.
But yeah, I think Gary might have a chance with this one. I mean, the -1 is pretty big, especially with the dual cannons.
You know, what's going to be important is going to be the roll off because they're both free drops.
Yeah.
Because if Gary wins that, then he can just drop in and kill the Hag Queen, kill the Medusa, and kill those Blood Sisters, the 20 Blood Sisters.
All these CAGs are going to be -2 to hit. The Cauldron.
God, look out, sir. Look out, sir, plus Kharadron. Oh, yeah.
And then
that's rough.
On top of that, because she's pretty and such.
What? Sorry, you say Morathi?
Yeah, Morathi. In a little form. She's alluring and such, which is another -1 to hit. Yeah,
well, you can't really kill her anyway, because not first turn, and you can't just drop in and kill her because she can only take 3 wounds. It's great if she's in a low form to start, then it's great because you can take off half her wounds.
You could. So if you get first turn, you put 1 wound on her. You could then use. There's no trading with some people to hopefully get those other 2 wounds on top of her.
But
Might be worth.
You can't kill her. Like you could put 3 wounds on, which then when she transforms,
she's only got 6 wounds left.
Yeah, so you do half the damage in 1 turn effectively. But you might. Yeah, I mean, the melee mortal wound reflex is only on the stuff in the battalion, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I mean, at least that doesn't include Morathi. I guess that's a positive because she's not in the battalion, and the Hag Queen is not in the battalion. Although you would just shoot. I mean, no, you can't just shoot at the Hag Queen because it's -1 and -2 to hit. But
apparently he's got 4 drops. Gary's saying he's got 4 drops.
Well, Gary has. Or
no, the Daughter's guy is 4 drops.
Oh yeah,
the assassin.
Yeah, because I didn't spot that when I was looking at it earlier, and I worked out. Yeah, so Gary will outdrop him then.
Good.
What is that? What? I'm interested to know why he has that assassin really. It must. Yeah, because you don't have to set it up on the board. But
that's still a drop. It can jump out of a unit and just put some extra close combat punch on things, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he just had the points. He just had the points spare. Might as well.
Yeah, but I mean, like with Daughters of Cain, he could have took some canaries that you could drop you can drop them like turn 4, turn 5 onto it, and then just take an objective, can't you? Because they can just drop anywhere. I mean,
I don't know.
So these, this guy comes out on the combat phase. Oh yeah, so if you charge something and you do have rerolls ones, or you do have a way of killing them without taking a ton of mortal wounds yourself, that assassin's just gonna pop out and fuck you over anyway.
He can jump out of Morathi. Gary's saying he just likes the model. The Daughter's guy just likes the assassin model, which is fair.
Yeah.
It's a nice model.
To be fair, 6 attacks on an 80-point model. I mean, it's got no rem, but 3s and 3s.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
I mean, I wish our Navigator had 6 attacks. That'd be cool.
That'd be sick.
So, do you want to make any predictions?
I'm going to say positive and say he's going to win it.
Well, should we go for the positive energy?
Positive energy.
Gary, you got this.
Yeah, you got it, Gary. Kill them all.
Get him.
Nah, just go for the objectives. Go for the objectives. Win the game.
Yeah.
Hope it's nice
I mean-
and hard. Just drop him.
Just do both. Kill
Yeah.
a man in the game. No pressure, obviously.
Mm.
But if you let us down, then we'll be disappointed.
The hopes and dreams of all Kharadron Overlords are with you.
Go
Yep.
forth and conquer.
You know, if you don't win, on the plus side, if you lose, we're more likely to get a book.
Yeah, true. Because everyone's like, oh,
they don't need fixing.
Yeah, don't do too well. They'll nerf the Arcanauts.
Yeah. Yeah, they. Although, yeah, he's not spamming Skyhooks though, so maybe they won't. Maybe that's a good thing. They're nerf drill cannons instead. Again.
oh, please don't nerf drill cannons again.
They make them -2 when instead of -3.
Oh god.
You know what's really annoying about the drill cannons?
What's that?
When you do get a 6 on the wound, and there's no unit within 3 inches because it has to be another unit. That's so annoying. Like when there's nothing there to splash more wounds onto.
Well, wouldn't that technically just go into the unit that you're shooting at?
Well, I mean,
does
I
this,
think it's
because I don't remember, but does it specifically say it has to be another unit, or can it be the same unit? So can you just mortal wound the same unit?
Right. Bear in mind, I'm reading the book.
It's probably changed.
It's the book. It's probably changed. It does say another unit. I haven't got the FAQs printed out or like up and on screen.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, go do it, Gary. Go win. Because
Get him, Gary.
We want.
Get him, goddammit, Gary.
Let's have a look at. Oh no, I'm on the wrong thing. Round 4 for Tom.
Round
Can
4
he
for
pull it
Tom.
Tom, no, that's the wrong Tom. There he is. Oh, he's got. Wait, hang on. He's
Tom
playing the same guy.
Files.
He's playing
Is
Stuart
it?
Miller again.
Surely not.
He's already played him. Yeah, unless there's
Yeah.
2 Stuart Millers. Well,
No, it's the same
Tom-
one.
And he won
Screw that
against this,
list.
didn't he? Oh no, or did he lose against this? Yeah, he lost.
I think he
against
lost against it.
It was the,
yeah,
it was
so-
Silver, it was the trees he beat.
Yeah. It's your chance at redemption, Tom.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we don't really need to discuss this, too, because we don't know the battle plan, and we've talked about this before. Yeah, on the plus side, you know his game plan.
We've been going for a bit. I think we should.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll quickly look at this, the list for Ian.
Ian.
And then-
Then we'll go on to
Then
other topics.
I will quickly nip to the fridge because I need another beer. And
enough.
then Luke Power. Luke Power. I'm sure I looked at Luke Power. Oh, that's the Sylvaneth guy. Is this the same one?
Bizarre. No, this is the one that that Tom Files beat.
Okay, so we've
So look at the same list.
Yeah, it's the same one. So, this made it. This made it really easy for us.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
because
go.
Scenario.
Yep.
So,
But, yeah,
what
honestly,
you
I
need to do,
don't.
Ian,
Sorry.
is go talk to Tom and find out what he did and copy that.
Yeah, exactly that.
When you've got a different list. You can't do exactly that because you've got a different list. The plus side is, because he's got lots of ships, he's got lots of flying units that shoot.
And you can
Yeah,
see
true.
over the tree.
He can see
Yeah,
over the trees.
trees.
With gun haulers.
Good on him.
Right.
All right.
Make gun
bear with
haulers
me
great.
while I go to the fridge.
Make gun haulers great again.
Yep. Even though they were never great to begin with, but we can try. Go, Ian. We have faith in you. Beardling. Right.
All right. So, what are we talking about next? Just the general meta?
Yep. I reckon. Well, once Lee's back from his beer mission, I think we should quickly discuss. What we think. KO's strength and weaknesses are overall, especially if there's new players looking at getting into KO, into the competitive scene, and maybe just covering, that stuff like that. I reckon we should quickly cover that.
All right.
Right, I didn't hear any of that.
KO strengths and weaknesses.
In regards to the competitive meta.
Strengths is shooting, which is good.
Shooting. Character assassination.
I mean, some people said shooting went away, but I guess it kind of did, but it shouldn't have done because it never really went bad. Like, it was always important.
I think it was because of the rise of the Horde army and the rise of magic, especially with the new edition. I think a lot of people started to concentrate more on the magic output rather than the shooting output.
Well, there was the changes as well with like the lookouts.
And everyone went apeshit.
Yeah, basically people were like, well, shooting's bad now, but it wasn't. It's not that big it wasn't big enough of a change, really, was it?
And any army that relies heavily on its characters to win, like Death,
like most armies,
especially now.
Yeah, a lot of the really important command abilities. We can shut those down.
Yeah.
We've got a good chance against those kind of armies. Armies like Fire Slayers, who don't need their heroes as much, I think. They're tough for us.
But didn't Fire Slayers always used to like max out on their heroes? So a lot of the lists take like 6.
Yeah, with like 90 fucking Volkites.
90 Volkites.
Yeah, it was so that they could get all 3 units of their Volkites popping up with those heroes that I forgot the name of.
The Rune Smiter.
Yeah.
And the heroes. But even without that, Volkite Berserkers are pretty nasty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as you got a big unit of them.
Oh, God.
I mean, we'll see if they change or not, but I hope they don't for anyone that's got them, because I don't think they need to be nerfed or anything. When you look at what other stuff is doing now,
I think they need to be buffed as in the army as a whole. I think they need to be buffed with
the army
with points pages.
But I mean, Volkites specifically, they should probably stay the same, and then other units in the army should probably be made better.
Yeah,
so that it's not Volkite spam.
Yeah, I might cover off on a weakness. So overall, like especially for me, because when I would go into KO, I was playing Destruction. I was playing Beastclaw Raiders mostly, and at least from what I learned was that KO is can be very punishing due to many different reasons, but the learning curve is quite steep. So going into the army, especially in a competitive sense, is very punishing. But if everything goes well, then you're going to get very, very well rewarded. So I wouldn't recommend a brand new player. Yeah.
Hey, don't do what I did 2 years ago. Your first.
But,
it's taken me 2 years to figure it out. I'm still bad.
Oh no, you're fine. But like, so they can be very punishing if things go wrong, which we'll get into with list building and stuff like that. But but if everything goes well, then you're going to smash face. Exactly. They're very squishy.
We're a glass cannon.
Yeah, exactly that. We are a glass cannon faction. So you really have to think about what you're doing. You really have to think beforehand.
And a lot of them. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you gotta be really careful with positioning.
Yes.
You gotta make sure that you aren't going to get charged by their big murder unit.
Yeah.
And we touched on it yesterday when we basically said you basically just said that the reason you lost your games at SAGT was deployment.
Yeah, being too aggressive with deployment.
Big risk and reward.
Yeah. Like, it's so tempting to think, oh yeah, if I move there, then my skyhooks are in range and I can kill that thing.
You kill the Slan, but you got to look out for the Bastiladons.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
you kill the Gristlegore general, but then the other dragon comes and kills you, or their massive bodies, or you kill the Grey Seer and then loads of plague monks come and kill you, or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, it's the same with most armies. You can assassinate heroes, but you've got to remember those units are still there. And to be honest, 90% of the time, probably more than that, their units unbuffed are more than a match for a KO unit in combat.
Yeah.
I mean,
very much so.
Even with riggers that are our main combat unit, they are fragile. Like,
very fragile.
They need to go in and kill something. Or, I mean, if they don't completely kill it in one turn, it's not a big deal, but you don't want to get bogged down with them where you're in combat and then they get charged by a couple of other units or even one other unit, because then they're dying.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and along with that, I suppose I may as well say this little thought thing. Like, at least from my experiences playing, you can't play KO reactionary. You have to have a thought and a plan for everything that happens. You have to have contingencies for everything that happens. Because otherwise you're just going to get stomped, because then you're sitting there trying to come up with a plan, but you need to have that plan beforehand. So you need to think about what the enemy's about to do before he does it.
Yeah, you don't want your units in combat unless you put them in combat.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
And the only way you avoid that is positioning a movement and planning ahead.
Yeah.
You plan for if you don't get the double turn, plan for if your opponent does get the double turn, plan for you need to know a big tip is know what your enemy's movement is and any buffs they've got. Like, if you don't know how far your enemy can move, you're in a bad place with KO, because they will just come across and kill you probably. Because 9 times out of 10, it's more than you think.
You need to spend a lot of time here just looking at all the different interactions in the army, what they can do, and ask your opponent questions. Just spend like the first 5 minutes of the game just asking exactly what everything does and how it's going to be.
Can I just quickly give a quick example? My last tournament, I played against the new Gloomspike Gits in the last game. So I'd never played them before, and they were running the big old spiders.
Hey, Spider Fang.
The player, she was quite upfront. She basically said, "I can run and shoot and charge in my first turn, and I'm 1 drop." I was like, "Okay, I can run and shoot and charge in my first turn as well, but I've got less drops." And that was Scorched Earth. So with the way Scorched Earth is, it's not as bad as Better Part of Valor, but they can still get on there's no way of screening out your objectives so they can't get on them, and they can get on it or get within range if they can charge you, or even if they got enough movement. And she had a big unit of, it was like a 540 point unit of these spiders, the little spiders, like the normal one. It was a big Death Star unit. She had 3 of the big spiders, then 2 min units of the spiders, and then a medium spider hero. I'm sorry to anyone that plays Spider Fang and knows what the names of these guys are. I have no idea. But basically, I spent some time quizzing her, because obviously she was up front with like what they could do. I was like, right, but what is your actual movement? Like, what is the base movement? What is, like, have you got any buffs to that movement? And basically, I worked out there was no way I could stop her getting on my objectives turn 1. So I did was I deployed I had Mornar. I had 30 Arcanauts, 2 units of 10 Arcanauts. I had a frigate, Brock, 2 chemists, and 9 riggers, which I think that was it. Maybe 12 riggers? Yeah, 12 riggers. And then I think I had a command point. Maybe two. But basically, I deployed everything. I deployed the 2 small units of Arcanauts on the line. Everything else was within the 3 inches of my table edge. Like the ship was there, and I only deployed in like the middle between the center and the right objective, because like the Scorched Earth, those 2 far objectives, the right and the left, are so far away from each other. There's no way I could spread out everything there. So I was like, right, I'm just going to let her come across the board turn 1, because that's what she wanted to do, and she did it. And then I just turned her, and then I basically worked clockwise around the board with that big unit of riggers, and ended up by turn 5. It went to turn 5, even though I had to play turn 5, even though she had nothing on the table, just to get enough points to win the game. Yeah. But I worked out, like, she's gonna get 6 points turn 1, and I've just got to try and claw back as many as I can. Because that was the only way to win. If I deployed everything else further forward, I would have lost that game.
Yeah.
So you've got to work out a plan. Like, how am I going to get the points in this game? And if you can't work that out, you can't just run forward and then hope everything survives, because it won't.
And you basically need to do it on the fly, because you're not going to have much prep time before a game.
No, and yeah, you haven't got time. Like, everything's against the clock, and that is one of the hardest things to learn. Is, you've got to play quick, and because you're playing a shooting army, you're rolling a lot of dice every turn, regardless of whether you've got anything in combat. So it's not a quick army to play. Like, you can play your turn 1, and it will take ages compared to other armies, because like, some armies will just sit there and go, right, I put some buffs up, your turn, and that's it. And they might roll some spells, or they might move a couple of units, but they don't, like, if you're shooting turn 1, or if you're sending your riggers across the board, you're rolling a lot of dice, and so your turns can end up taking a long time. So you can't spend too much time beforehand, like, trying to work out your plan.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Right.
So yeah, you got to quiz your opponent, but you can't spend too long doing it, basically.
No, you just get the specifics. Just the threat ranges really is what.
Find out the movement and the range of spells and attacks. Whether they got buffs to charge, run and charge. Really important to find out if something's got run and charge these days, because if something's got run and charge, that you can add 6 to their movement, because they will be, like, if they got run and charge, they're spending a command point to get 6 inch on that run.
Oh yeah,
unless they roll like a 5 or something. So basically, look at their movement, add 6, and then think, God, how far they're gonna charge?
Yeah.
Unless you're clown car and you're off the table and you ain't got to worry about it.
Exactly.
But and then this is something Gary explained really well in his masterclass on AOS Shorts. His first turn with clown car is his deployment phase.
Yeah.
And it's the same with, even if you haven't got a whole clan car, it's still your deployment phase. And where you have a ship, or where you move a ship, and then which side of the ship you get your riggers out on, or your Arcanauts, is really important, because it can be the difference between something getting a buff or not, or whether you get into range or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other strengths and weaknesses? I've got another weakness or strength and weakness I want to talk about, but I'd rather talk about it when we get into list building.
Yeah. My next strength is our models are gorgeous.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it. The models are, in my opinion, some of the best the Games Workshop have ever made. But that's just me.
Well, going off that, the models are also so frustrating. My God, those flying bases.
Flying stands. Don't start talking about flying stands, because we'll be here for another half an hour. talk, won't we?
Yeah.
So should we quickly? I mean, because I don't want to spend too much time doing it, but there will be hopefully, some people listening, or at least at a later date listening to this, that aren't that familiar with KO. So can we quickly just go through each unit and just very quickly say whether it's shit or good?
Sure.
Or, somewhere in between.
All right, but I'm probably going to have to head out in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
50 or 15?
15.
Right. Okay. One word answers then.
Yep.
All right.
What do you think?
Oh. He's got a good command ability. Good in barrack. Morna. Good for Morna.
Okay.
Endringer's running charge.
Yeah, I would say I used to hate him, but with the changes in AOS2, he's better now.
And his points dropped.
His points dropped, and okay, Admiral.
Garbage.
Garbage. Even for Battleshot community.
That's all he's got going for him.
Yeah. That's what. If you take him, that's why you take him, isn't it?
Yeah. Pretty much.
But you could take Prospector instead. And so there we go. Navigator.
Situational, but mostly poos.
He's a good, cheap, tough hero. That's about it.
Yeah. For 80 points, he does have a 3+ save. So,
and he can unbind spells.
Yeah, but not dispel.
And that's better.
Which is important to know. His ability really annoys me that it's not got a big enough range. Because
if they're within 18, they're probably charging you anyway.
Yep. Yeah. It needs to be more, or it needs to affect them once they come within 18 inches. Yeah. But most of the time, you'll be better off allying in. Like, if you want the dispels, you either want to go for it and ally an incanter, or maybe a rune lord. Or if you're going the other way and you're not that bothered about it, but you just want to dispel, not a dispel, an unbind, then you can just, you can take an artifact.
Yeah.
Just to go off subject a bit, like if you're playing against Legions of Sacrament, like the list we were looking at earlier, let's be honest, one unbind is not going to make any difference. Arcan's got +2 to his spell casting base, and then in Legion of Sacrament he's got an extra +1. If there's arcane terrain, he's got +4. It doesn't matter if you've got an unbind, unless you can roll 12s. Like
the FAQ killed out 3d6 unbind.
Pardon?
The FAQ killed out 3d6 unbind.
Yeah. If we had that, then if that come back, then the Navigator would be good.
We had
next one.
FAQ.
Pardon?
We had cool things, then FAQ.
Yeah,
pretty much
exactly that.
If you are new to Kharadron Overlords, and we're going a bit quick for you, just go and read the FAQ. Read the book, then read the FAQ, then read Krohn's 10 million word essay on Overlords, and then come back and listen to this. Okay, Chemist.
Auto
take, isn't he?
You got to. You have to.
Just to explain why, is because there's not many ways to improve force multiply with KO. Is there? There's not many ways of getting a buff to your damage up.
Chemist or Ironclad?
Chemist, Ironclad, or Barrack Monar, or one of the other rerolls are effectively a buff, aren't they? There's not many.
Yeah.
You got to put a Chemist.
He's an auto take. Engine Master.
Shit.
Garbage.
Yeah, basically.
We're not a combat army.
I mean, potentially there's a build where you make an Ironclad really strong and hard to kill, but the thing is, healing generally in competitive play doesn't work because there are too many things out there that are so killy that can kill something in one go. Healing's not a good enough way of making something durable, is it?
Nah.
Because something will just kill it. Next, I'm just going for the book here. Arkanauts. Well, obviously the battle line, so auto take. Skyhooks are amazing.
Skyhook's
the
good.
only battle line yet.
Volley gun. They're good.
If you haven't got Skyhooks, they're okay.
If you can't spare a chemist for the Arcanaut squad, take the volley guns. Volley gun without chemist is better than Skyhook without chemist, in my opinion.
Although you get the extra range with the Skyhooks. So, like, say if you've got one chemist, you kind of want to have 2 units with Skyhooks and then 1 with volley guns potentially, because, you know, once the first unit dies, like, the chemist can then buff the second unit. Or, you know, he can choose which one to buff depending on what you want to target.
Yeah, but I can only really see a big squad of Skyhooks.
Yeah, like if you've got a big squad, then you want Skyhooks. Potentially in Mornar, volley guns are pretty good in Mornar potentially, but then Skyhooks are still better.
Yeah.
Like, and then
the Sky Pike off the Skyport. We don't need it.
Yeah, just
very true.
You see where that says, like, when you're looking at the War Scroll, and where it says Sky Pike, just ignore it, and then move on.
Yeah, that's a misprint. You don't actually take those.
Okay, ships, Ironclad.
Awesome, but still too expensive.
Yeah. I think now that the frigates, like, we might as well talk about the Ironclad and the frigate at the same time. They're both too easy to kill.
Yeah, definitely.
They're both underwhelming with firepower. The Ironclad's, you know, better for its points, but it's not comparing to Arkanauts or Riggers. Or
very
Thunderers.
true. Yeah.
I think you can pretty much transport as much as you need in the frigate. You don't need to pay the extra points for the Ironclad. Because if all you're doing is transporting balloon boys and a squad of Thunderers or Arkanauts, you can do that in the frigate.
It depends how many drops you want to be. But this ties into a point. Basically, you know, I said I wanted to make a point later. I'm not ready to make the point yet, but you can get low drops with ships, and you know, if you're taking one ship, then an Ironclad will give you less drops than a frigate, if that's important to the way you're building your list. Like, which it might be. It depends what you're building. Gun hauler, just skip past that page because it's rubbish.
It's not even worth talking
Thunderer.
about.
Thunderer. Love them.
Good.
Love them.
Yeah, I don't use them personally, but I can see.
I wish they were conditional battle line.
Yeah,
and I wish they were 80 points for 5.
Yeah.
Or
maybe. Yeah, the thing is, it's 5 wounds is the annoying thing.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's a 5 wound unit.
It's like a scalpel.
I really like the abilities you get from mixing the weapons, but I haven't figured out a way to make it work yet.
No, I think it's more of a fun option than a purely competitive one.
Well, potentially there's a cost saving there because mathematically it does work out better than rifles. Like if you ignore the mortar, you take, say if you've got like a unit of 20, you take 2 deck sweepers or maybe 3 if you really want to guarantee it, max out on Aether cannons, and then the rest are rifles. Those Aether cannons, once they're re-rolling all hits and re-rolling their damage, and they're 4+, 2+, -2 Ren, D3, they will do a lot of work. The trouble is the range with the special weapons.
Yeah, 12. You need the boat to help them out at that point.
Yeah, and you know what's really annoying is like with the way you play your Thunderers, where you have a unit of 14, You can't do that with the mixed weapons.
No, you'd only get 2 of each kind.
No, like if you could take a unit of 15 and drop them from the sky the same way you do, it could work.
Yeah.
Like, because you would have, say, you'd have enough cannons there, and you'd be 9 inches away, so the range is not a problem. But the trouble is you
You're
still
giving
got
up on the camera.
yeah, like you're not saving any points because you're still gonna want more than one hero in your list. So then you've got to have something somewhere else where that chemist, if you're going to take him, is doing something. So I mean, maybe if you switched out, your evocators for something like riggers, but then you're losing unbinds. I mean, there's potential there.
We can go into more detail in another episode, I think.
Yeah, there's potential, but I haven't figured it out. Riggers, auto take.
Yeah. If I don't know.
Well, you don't take them though, do you?
I don't. I think they're a bit fragile for a combat unit. It's the all or nothing thing again. I don't like all or nothing.
Yeah, well, we mentioned they will die like everything else in our army. They will die just stiff breeze.
Yep.
And typically, the trend in the meta right now is for strong combat units that are also durable. So stuff that can, and these aren't. So you come up against, like, if you want to go send them into something that you really want to kill and they can't kill in one go, they will lose out over the course of a couple of rounds because they'll lose the chemist buff because they go out of his range, and then they just die too easily.
Yep.
I tell you what, though, 1 unit of 3 with 4 sword attacks because the leader can do a surprising amount of work.
Yeah.
They put out a lot of damage.
You went all sort of
bird.
You turn into a robot.
I have been known to,
Skyward.
but they do a lot of damage. And riggers have a huge damage potential. There's just a big risk in taking them.
Yeah.
What
next?
Moving on to Sky Wardens.
Sky Wardens. I think they were feasible at 100 points, not at 120. Now you just take Ender Riggers. Same thing for the...
Unless you know you're playing... If you know you're playing something like Nighthorn or, say, like Legions of the Gap with loads of Spirit Hosts or anything that has lots of flying in it, then you can...
Squidhoppers, actually.
Yeah.
They've all got flying.
Yeah, if you know you're facing something that's got lots of flying, then you can make a case for them. But potentially you've got a frigate and you can maybe... That has the same thing, and you can maybe sort of tempt something because you don't mind if you lose your frigate once it's done its job. So maybe you can use it as a bit of bait, and people won't realise that it's got that ability. Do we need to talk about battalions? I guess.
No one really takes them, apart from the Iron Sky Command.
Well,
the squadron.
The squadron, I think, has legs.
Yeah, it does. It has legs, but I don't know. It's a lot of commitment. In that one, you're committing a lot of your points. But I'd like to try it one day.
The Iron Sky Squadron is cheaper than the Iron Sky Command.
Yeah, it is.
Now that the frigate's come down, and it's actually, and the battalion is cheaper itself. Like the total cost because it's your Archanaut companies which you're taking anyway.
Yeah, true. It does actually. Yeah.
The point I mentioned earlier, I'll have to mention it now because I keep talking about it and not telling you it. But this fits in perfectly with it. Is the ships are a bit of a trap? I'm starting to think because you can use them to get low drops. But if you do use them to get low drops, all your army's in one place. If you play Clown Car, you can use that to your advantage. Yeah. Against in some of the battle plans, like Scorched Earth. You know the ones where you have like 2 or 3 objectives in your side of the table, and there's 2 or 3 in your enemy side of the table, and you need to cover those objectives in your side of the table. And you can't just put like 1 unit. Like you can't do that if everything's in a ship, can you?
Yeah.
Nah.
So what's strong about this battalion is because it includes your Arcanauts, your 1 drop, even and 1 drop you can spread out as well. Pretty much, you can take all over your deployment.
All right,
I think that's really good.
I gotta head off to work. Sorry.
Okay, Krohn. It was a good time talking to you, bro.
Yeah.
No worries.
But,
Do it again next time. Bye.
Bye.
Let's wait for the wind to go away.
That would be yep.
There he is. He's muted himself. Yeah. So yeah, the Arcanaut frigate. Sorry. Yeah, the Iron Sky Squadron's all right, I think.
yeah.
Now, actually.
And like if you're playing Monar, then re-rolling your runs when you're running, it's good. Plus
Yeah,
one
running and shooting the first turn.
+1 to your attacks on the frigates when they're potentially re-rolling that 4+ hit as well is potentially quite good. And potentially what it also does is because if those frigates do well with those attacks turn 1, your opponent probably won't realise, they're not going to do that again later. They will make those frigates targets, and if they're targeting your frigates, great, fine, because
who cares?
No one cares. And if they're targeting those frigates with flying units and they charge them, even better.
Yeah.
The Iron Sky Command is like basically if you're playing a clown clan, you want to be 1 drop. Like if you don't
you go for the Iron Sky.
Yeah, if you don't want to go second against Sylvaneth, basically.
Yeah.
The Armada.
What was I going to say? But honestly, overall, like I think that a lot of the battalions that we've got are a bit lackluster. Apart from obviously the potential with drops and that, that's all you're really taking them for.
They're in this really awkward place because in a lot of armies, you take a battalion to get low drops. And because we can achieve low drops anyway.
Yeah, there's not really much of a point.
And then their abilities aren't that great.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You know, like none of them have like standout like take me abilities.
Yeah, there's no like the battalions that you get in other factions. It's like some of them are really, really strong. And like to use Sylvaneth as an example, they have so much flexibility in what they can actually take in a battalion. Like ours are very prescriptive, whereas a lot of factions have this thing where it basically says take this like these 2 things or these 3 things, and then just fill it out with 2 to 3 units of whatever you want, and you're like, so you can. Whereas if you compare that to like say the escort wing, which you couldn't even take in 2,000 points until 2.0, when the points. It's so prescriptive, and it doesn't even include your battle line. But it does have the best ability. Well, ignoring the Grand Armada because you can't take it in a 2,000 point game, and ignoring the Aether Strike Force because you can build a list with it, but it's very hard to make it work. I think.
Yeah, it is very hard to make it work.
You can physically make a list. You're being forced to take Stormcast as well, which you might not want to do. So then, if you ignore those 2, the escort wing's got the +1 to hit, and it's quite telling when +1 to hit is your best ability from a battalion.
Yeah, it is.
You look at what other stuff getting like +1 to hit. And it's not a flat +1 to hit. It's +1 to hit against 1 enemy unit.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah, it's not even worth considering, in my opinion.
No. If you want to play boats, if you want to put an army on the table with lots of boats and have some synergies, then it'll be fun. But it's not competitive, is it?
Yeah, no. Right. So what should we discuss next? Our general place in the meta?
Yeah. Do you want to very quickly go through the skyports?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Yeah. So, in my opinion, the best skyports are obviously because previously everyone just took Zilfin because of the clown car, and Zilfin isn't dead, but it's been hit a little bit. Morna is the best.
Yeah, I was going to say that Gary is obviously proving it's not dead.
Yeah. He's keeping that torch lit. Morna, I'd say, is right now, apart from Zilfin, is probably our best. But it's very reliant on that first turn. And if you don't do that damage in the first turn, you're pretty much screwed from there. Unless you've got other contingencies. But it's obviously just KO.
It's basically Zilfin and Mornar top 2.
Urbaz definitely through.
And then Fring and Nar probably joint 4th.
Yeah, I'd say so. Zon's just not that great. I mean, I wanted to try it one day, I really did, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it because like, no, this is shit.
It's just really annoying when it has an ability that does nothing.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like, what were they thinking when they put it in there?
I don't know, unless something changed. Like, they had it in there and it fit with something, and then they changed something else and they forgot, that's going to fit this other thing. When they were, when they were playtesting things, they thought, actually, shit, we've got to change this. And then they forgot. So let's talk about what changed, because you mentioned it briefly there with Zilfin. Like, everyone used to take Zilfin, and of course the reason they don't now is because they changed disembarking, basically. Because what was good was you would move the ship in the hero phase.
Do your hero phase move.
8 inches, assuming you had an ironclad. If you were playing the Iron Sky Command, you would probably have a navigator, and then there you'd be. So I don't think. Does his ability apply to that? I can't remember anymore. It's been so long.
I'll have a look.
Potentially, inches plus D3. I can't remember. But anyway, and then you disembark 4 inches. Which, just to clarify that as well, because I know there's probably someone going, I thought it was 3 inches. But it's 3 inches, but only like a millimeter of your base has to be in those 3 inches. So it's basically 4 inches, or, like, or 4 1/4 if you've got riggers. So then, so 8-inch move with the ship, 4-inch disembark, 12-inch move with the riggers, and Bob's your uncle, you're 3 inches away for a charge.
Yeah, exactly that.
But you can't do that anymore because now you have to disembark at the beginning of the hero phase, and that means that you can't do the hero phase move with the ship first.
Yeah.
So moving the ship in the hero phase is still like a half decent ability. Like, it's a shame Krohn's gone now, because in CanCon that could have won him the game.
Yeah, exactly that. If he moved that frigate onto that objective, away from that bloody bloodthirster, then he would have been fine.
And I don't think he even needed to use the hero phase move to do it. But I mean, potentially, if the objective was further away, like you move.
Well, I mean, like, he could have just retreated out of combat.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, what it does do is it gives that ship potential. Say if it's a frigate, it gives that ship like extra 10-inch move that turn, which is massive. An extra 10, like a free move, and then if you add onto that you might have a hero nearby that can spend a command point, and it can then run 6 inches. Well, actually, no, because you're Zilfin, so you're running 6 inches anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
With a ship anyway. So yeah, then that ship is 26 inches in a turn.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
So like, if someone's left an objective empty, that's quite handy. Or if you just want to conserve, like if you've already won the game, but that ship's nearly dead, and you're in a tournament situation, and kill points are going to matter, like just get that ship out of dodge because it's got a 5-up save. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's not a tough boat at all.
Mm.
Well, none of the boats are tough. It's just another point of contention for me.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
So, if you play Zilfin now, you're dropping the ship from the sky, basically, aren't you? That's what you're.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're
doing. And then with Monar, they benefited from the changes because Monar is based all around the fact that you can re-roll hit rolls, with thanks to the command trait, and because you can run and shoot in your first turn, well, the first battle round, rather, which basically equates to your first turn. The fact that you can make that run roll a 6 is pretty handy.
Yeah.
What I like about it, which I don't think many people realise, or maybe they do, and I'm just not giving them credit for it. But is it what it means is you can deploy everything further back. It's a defensive tool as well. Like most people think, oh yeah, that's great because you've got 34-inch threat range with your Arkanauts. But it's not necessarily that. It's more the fact that you can deploy, 6 inches further back than you normally would, and then make your opponent go first. If they haven't got something crazy like teleporting or whatever.
Yeah.
Which in a squishy army, if you can keep your unit out of combat turn 1, it's quite handy, and then potentially double turn.
Yeah, exactly. The double turn. Love a double turn. I used to love a good double turn, especially with the clown car. Oh, so good.
Okay.
Oh, so good.
So say if your army now, because you're in a unique position. I don't think.
Where I'm not really playing anymore, but I'm just sort of keeping a long track, and I'm just listening to everything that's being said, and I'm trying to read everything I can.
Well, what I was thinking was more the fact that you're building an army from scratch. You're not in a unique position because you know who's in the same position as you.
Who's that?
Gary Percival.
Yeah, exactly. He's coming back in.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing where you're coming. Well, actually, I don't. He might not be because he might. So I thought he sold his army. So I don't know if he's got the same army or he's bought a new one. But you're building an army from scratch, but with the knowledge of the fact that you used to play the army, which is quite unique. Obviously,
it's a weird one. Yeah, it is a weird one.
You're not just like. I mean, because some people get people's advice and that, but it's so different when you learn stuff yourself.
Yeah.
As you're coming into it where you basically how the army works, so you won't make all these mistakes of I'll buy loads of gun haulers. So that's quite, but you're not having to pivot because the position I was in after 2.0 come out, and I was already thinking about pivoting anyway. Was I had a clown car. I built a clown car list. That's what I had. I had an ironclad and I had 3 units of 10 Arkanauts. I had more than that, but because I bought extras and that to get skyhooks. But that's what I was playing, and I had 9 riggers and I had 9 sky wardens that I just finished. I had just finished painting my sky wardens, and then they.
Oh no!
The first time they hit the table after being painted, their account counts as engine riggers.
Oh god, that's crushing. Yeah.
Yeah. So But yeah, so I had to pivot. So I was like, where do I pivot to from this clown car? And I was like, well, do I go and buy? Because what was doing well then was before Krohn had sort of done well at CanCon, and the only thing that had sort of done well in a tournament was Chris. I'm going to butcher his name. I'm sorry, Chris. Chris Fieselor in the Facebook group, and he went to Nova and he went 4 games in 0. I don't know where he came. It's a big tournament, but 4 games in 0. Bearing in mind the changes and stuff that had just happened was pretty good. And he was playing Iron Sky Squadron with Barrett Monar. I was like, okay, well, that looks good. I can pivot to that. But I've got to buy 2 frigates, which is not cheap. And you've got to build and paint them. Building and painting a ship is going to take a long time if you want to do it well. And then the other option I was looking at was I was thinking, I could go to like a mixed order sort of route, like or Tempest Eye. And I was thinking, and I was thinking about getting Volkites. And I looked at the price, and I was like,
"Fuck that!
That's 90 quid for 30 Volkites." Which
Jesus,
like, when like it's not like if you wanted to play Fire Slayers, you wouldn't you do it, wouldn't you? But when you're a KO player, you're like, right, I might get some allies, or I might sort of go to mixed order, but be mostly KO. You start sort of like when the extra sort of allies that you're buying are costing more than your normal army, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel right. So to pivot, I was choosing between like these 2 expensive things, and they're very different in the way they play. So I can't sort of there is a crossroads, not a crossroads, it's a T junction, like which way to go. Whereas you're in a completely different position where you're starting from scratch. Yeah. But you're not from scratch, as in you don't know anything from the
about them. Yeah. Honestly, like the thing is, like, well, as you said, I've got some prior knowledge, but in the end, like AOS 2 is just a whole new world.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is about KO is that much like Fire Slayers is that we've got a very limited range of models. And so we're sort of shoehorned into only certain ways that we can build a competitive list. So that's why I'm sort of just taking a step back and having a look for a long time. It's like I probably won't be able to properly build and play until 2020. Well,
you did. You bought a load of stuff from someone, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a trade done, but then I had to get rid of them again. Don't ask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was shit.
You said the other day you sold 2 armies in basically.
Yeah. But anyway, but I don't know. It's a hard one. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at seeing when the next KO book comes out, because there's no point of me purchasing a whole bunch of shit that could be completely and utterly useless once the book comes out. And there's been rumors about a KO book coming out at least this year. But obviously for me, I love the ships, so I really want to have at least one ship on my list. I know for a fact I'm going to need a lot of Arkanauts. Well,
but you might not. That's the thing.
Well, exactly that. They might make Thunderer's battle line. You never know.
And you could, like, even if you bought a load of Arkanauts and they stayed the same battle, they're the only battle line, you don't know what's happening with Skyhooks. They could get away with Storm Fiends. And if you do, I don't want them to either. But,
then there'll just be 3-man units. Yeah.
I've got some Arkanauts sitting on Sprue at the moment that I'm not building, because I might build them now, because I've got a doubles tournament coming up, and I'm really tempted just to take 70 Arkanauts.
Well, like, funnily enough, actually, and that's what I was going to segue into, is that right now, because obviously, as we said before, ships are a bit of a trap. But it seems to me that now, apart from those people who are taking ships and having great success, the most evil meta way to play KO right now is to just spam Arcanaut companies and chemists, and that's pretty much it. Like you look, I had
comment from a guy earlier today saying, I just don't see why KO players aren't just taking 120 Arcanauts and 4 Chemists.
Well, I can tell you why.
It's expensive as fuck. That's why.
No, it's not that. That's not that bad. But like,
and who wants to paint 120 Arcanauts?
Well, yeah, the first I told you yesterday. Basically, KO is my first ever Age of Sigmar army, and I hadn't I had played when I was a kid, but you know when you're a kid and you paint stuff, and it's other than the time when I nearly cut my thumb off, as a kid, it's not that you don't. I think most of my games as a kid were grey plastic. But so I come into the game and my first army was KO, and the first thing I bought was Brock and some riggers because I wasn't sure about buying ships because I was like, I'm not sure if I want to get involved in such an expensive hobby and go all in. But it turns out I have an addictive personality, so obviously I'm all in.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that we all have.
Yeah. So the idea was, I'll buy these things that fly. So that's kind of like having ships. And then when I was a kid, I never had I paid Space Marines because that's what you do when you're a kid. It's like
Space Marines.
Yeah, but I never had things like the cool dreadnoughts and stuff. So I was like, I'll buy Brock because I always I never had that really cool big thing. So I was like, I have that cool big thing, and then he was shit. But now he's good. But then I bought 30 Arcanauts all in one batch, and I tried to paint them all in one batch. Painting all. I worked out it's most efficient to do one color at a time. So literally, I was painting the pink or the maroony sort of pinky purple. I can't remember the name of the color now. Screamer pink. Screamer pink. Is that it?
That's
I painted Screamer pink on 30 models, and then painting Xandru dust on 30 models, and I nearly slit my wrists.
It's a horrible thing, eh? I'm the same though, because I used to be known for speed painting. So I got 2,500 points of Beastclaw Raiders done in the space of about 5 weeks.
Yeah,
and this is back then. And my KO army, my original one, took me.
That's like 2 models.
It took me 5 weeks to paint 2 models.
Raiders. There's not many models, but they're big models, isn't it? So
big models, and there's a lot of surface. The KO took me a bit longer. But I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I loved painting them. It was so much fun. Apart from the Ironclad took me the longest. I painted a frigate in a day.
Really? God, my Canadian.
This is before I had a family, so
my Ironclad is actually unfinished. It's got multiple colours on it. It's I can put it on the table and play with it, which is the reason why it's not finished, because I can put it on the table and play with it. So therefore, other stuff that's grey take priority, and then I moved to a frigate-based list. So that took priority because that had to be done for a tournament and stuff. And actually, I've done a nicer colour scheme on the frigate, and I'm not that happy with the colour scheme on the Ironclad that isn't finished. So I'm thinking about, do I try and strip it or just paint over it? And that's on the shelf for now though, because I'm probably not going to play it anyway unless it changes.
Right. So in regards to KO's place in the general meta, where do you think we stand at the moment?
Well, you can't take 120 Arcanauts is the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
The game doesn't allow it because you need to go and get objectives. That's why you don't take on I mentioned Scorched Earth earlier. There's 3 objectives in your enemy's deployment zone. If all you've got is Arcanauts that move 4 inches, you're not taking those. Let's be honest. At least for Dispossessed have the this reputation of being slow. They talk about it on the Honest Wargamer, and he takes a piss out of Nathan's slow draw, and they're saying basically on now he's his control list. He just wants to make everyone as slow as a dwarf. But at least with them, they can teleport a unit once per turn.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't do that. I mean, we can drop a ship, but you can't play 120 Arcanauts. So you need some sort of movement.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, where we sit in the meta is, well, I mean, you're either going to have a gunline army, or you're going to have an Alpha Strike army,
Yeah.
or like a gunline Alpha Strike army.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it's a gunline that Alpha Strikes, like, because I mean the reason why we've always Alpha Struck is because we're squishy. So you kill as much as you can, so that they don't come and kill you. Like the more you like, because when a glass cannon is most effective is when it gets to shoot first.
Yeah, very true.
And kills the thing that's gonna kill it. The other way is you build like a gun line, and it's like a counter strike, which is how Tom Lyons played his like mixed
order.
His mixed Duardin at Adepticon.
Fire Slayers, yeah.
He had Fire Slayers and his beard and his big unit of Arcanauts, and it's basically like the Fire Slayers could teleport somewhere, get an objective and stuff. The Longbeards could take the hit for the Arcanauts, and then he actually switched to Sky Wardens at the time. I don't know whether he'd do that now.
No, probably not.
Because what he actually wanted was a mobile shooting unit. Like, because he wasn't sending he didn't want to send the riggers across the table first turn, was the thing. He wanted to hold them back and then use them after, like, later in the game. So then it made sense for them to be shooting stuff.
Yeah.
So you can do a counter strike sort of thing with a gun line as well.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to take the hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not
you
get
need to be able to take it back.
And the way the meta is now, you can't avoid being hit first turn.
It's very much so in either an Alpha Strike meta, or simply just
necessarily Alpha Striking, but they always have a way of doing something turn one in a good list.
Yeah, well, that's more what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessarily like attacking you with the whole army, but they're going to do something to you turn one. And
that'll either knock you off your feet a little bit.
Yeah, or get on some objectives.
Yeah, and then you can't take them off them.
Yeah, they're my Alpha Bunker. You know what I said earlier about Monar, where it means that you can maybe deploy them a bit further back, and that's like a defensive thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean squat if you're playing against Stormcast and they just drop them 9 inches away from you, and they've got Gavriel Shoreheart, and they're they've got plus 6 inches, plus however many command points they have to charge.
Yeah, that's an issue.
So kind of maybe the gun line counter charge is not a thing. It's not a thing unless you can take the hit, basically. And we haven't got any tar pits.
Yeah, so exactly.
If you want to play a gun line, you've got to ally stuff in. Which is what Krohn does.
He's doing it the right way. Right now we have to ally in at least something or a wizard to maintain our competitiveness at the moment. Maybe in the future we'll get something like that. Maybe we'll get what the Fire Slayers are getting in regards to those endless spell thingies and a terrain piece. But
I think you can play without allying wizards in.
Yeah, but it's going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, what I said earlier about, like, if you're playing against Legion of Sacrament and they got you're playing against Nagash. Like, if you got some wizards, like, you're not unbinding stuff, are you? I mean, at least if you take the Knight Encounter, you're guaranteed one unbinded game. But no, what's good about Krohn's list is he's not just taking them to be a wizard. The fact that they're a bonus, like, and they do other stuff that, I mean, Aethercast is a great ally choice because they're strong in melee, they're durable, and they can do mortal wounds reliably.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
all things KO can't do. Plus, they count as wizards, and they can dispel. And they're not. You can't cast loads of spells with them, or endless spells.
It's better than nothing, though.
But just having a dispel, because the other thing is, because we rely so much on shooting, is if someone's got a prismatic palisade, that can really rain on your parade. I don't want to be in a situation where someone puts, say if you've got 40 Arcanauts and you've got all your skyhooks clustered together, and they imagine they just use a Umbral spell portal and then just put a prismatic palisade in front of those Arcanauts. You're 480 points for your army is not doing what you paid the points for.
Yeah, exactly.
That's scary as hell.
It really is. No, definitely not.
Which is kind of why you need some sort of magic. But if you're playing Kharadron, you can maybe get away with it because you can shoot off any wizards or whatever. I mean, Gary's got the Night Encounter in his list. Obviously, it's worthwhile.
With the Disky Zoom.
Yeah. It's interesting because, the fact that he's got that, if I was to look at his list, I would say, oh, yeah, that's great for Relocation Orb. But they specifically say in the pack that's one of the two battle plans that won't be in the pack, won't be played. But it's perfect. So I don't know if Gary's that's his list for the season, and he doesn't want to keep switching things out because you just want to practice that one list and be good at that one list and know what you're doing is really important. So maybe that's his thinking, that's my list and I've got that in case I have to play Relocation Orb. And then, if he doesn't, if the pack doesn't have Relocation Orb in it, he's not going to take it out because he doesn't want to mess with his list. And I mean, too often people default after losing a game or doing badly in a tournament to, oh, my list is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's not. It's not. It's you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the way you're playing your list. That's just simply it. And for me, for example, after Masters 2017, I got absolutely curb stopped. I think I came third to last or something like that. I was like that. I was like, I need to change my list, and all I did, I just took my Knight of Zeros out, and I added some more engine friggers in that, and that was it. Actually, I added 10 Arcanaut Company, and that was it. And then the next tournament I went to, I came fourth. Especially with KO, it's all about learning experiences.
How much of that was to do with the change, and how much of that was to do with what you learned is hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because I learned a lot from the tournament. And then the next one, I just used everything that I learned previously of what not to do, and then I applied it, and then I got good, I suppose, for that little time that I was playing them, and then
then life happened.
But so shall we see about cutting it there soon?
Yeah. Do you want to go now, or do you want to?
Well, I've got gardening to do, mate. so sorry to all the listeners, but this man has to garden.
To be honest, I mean, we've gone on for a long time, and we haven't even started talking about lists. I think we're probably better off cutting it off and then
we'll jump on lists next time, eh?
Yeah, picking it up with Krohn and maybe
Daniel,
maybe because we haven't got him again. So sorry for anyone that wanted to know what list we're playing and what list we're going to build in the future, but
we had the greatest of rambles and it was good. And I hope that it filled your ears if you're doing any hobby or anything like that.
Yeah. But quickly, where KO is the meta is shooting is good. And you need shooting because if you don't have shooting, you're fucked over by Gristlegore.
Pretty much. And whatever Korn's going to pull out.
There are other ways to fight Gristlegore, but KO don't have it. So you need to shoot. And so shooting is good. And that's evidence in this tournament, the Justice Series, because there's a lot of shooting lists. You look at some of those Stormcast lists and stuff, there's a lot of shooting in there.
Yeah, exactly. Shooting is definitely king in sorry, it's not king, but it's still really good.
It's really important.
And I think that the rest of the meta, so all the other factions, are going to start looking at that and seeing how they're going to counter it now as well.
Yeah, it's actually going to be worse for KO, even though shooting.
Yeah, exactly, because everyone's going to be anti-shooting now.
Yeah, people are going to start taking the anti-shoot. More people are going to play. Like Stormcast players might suddenly start taking Mirror Shield again.
Oh God.
I'm going to say that as defender as well. Or I mean, so it's going to be so shooting's really important. Being able to do something to your opponent turn one is important, which KO can do.
Yeah.
So but what we can't do is survive. So we need to either rely on killing stuff or being out of reach of their attacks.
Yeah.
Without sort of going into lists, we can't really say much more than that, can we?
Nope. I think that's pretty much us, buddy.
Oh, we struggle with bodies.
Yes, exactly that. Yep. We struggle with bodies and board control.
So even if we can survive on an objective, we won't have enough bodies on that objective, because if someone sends in 40 plague monks against your 10 Arcanauts, you're
just not going to win that fight.
And that's even if you don't win it, like even if you survive until turn 5, you've got less bodies on the objective than they have, and that's what counts. It's all based on, and that's why Beastcrawler Raiders don't do well, because they don't have bodies.
Sadly enough.
So, I don't know when next episode is going to be. It's definitely not going to be tomorrow. When this isn't a daily thing. So,
no, definitely not. I've got work to do.
We've treated you so far to daily, but it's not going to be daily. It's not even going to be weekly. Maybe monthly, possibly.
Yeah, pretty much when we can all get together at once and we can all have a yarn about what we're up to.
At least 3 of us, I think, is good. And maybe maybe we can get some guests if people want to guest.
Yeah, man. So if any of you guys are prevalent in the KO scenes where
Gary, if you want to come on board.
Yeah, Gary, if you want to come on and have a yarn about your tournament stuff, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, and Chris Percival, or if you want to talk about your Iron Squadron list or something. Well, and other players, just because we're not naming you doesn't mean we're not interested. But
exactly. If you guys are keen to have a chat, just hit us up on the Facebook Kharadron Overlords page, which is the KO faction page in the Age of Sigmar fan network. I may as well give us a bit of a plug now. The Age of Sigmar fan network it's kind of like an Age of Sigmar United Nations. And we are the largest community of Age of Sigmar players on Facebook. And we cover all factions with battle times, and we're all a great team of dudes. And this is just the KO part of it. If you're interested in saying something, if you've got any questions, if you've got any suggestions, just jump on Facebook, let us know, and we'll try and get it done.
Yeah. And if you're sort of sound a bit confused about this fan network thing, you're probably already in it. And you don't
exactly. You will probably already be in the network.
You're probably if you're on the Age of Sigma fan page on Facebook, then you're in part of it. It's all linked. And
we all talk to each other about the groups. We all discuss things. We all see about how we can make the wider community better. So and we're always open to suggestions.
Cool.
Yep, sweet. Also, one last plug. If you are interested in the New Zealand meta, I would highly recommend that you go over to Notorious Age of Sigmar, which is a podcast dedicated to the New Zealand meta. These guys went over to Australia to go to CanCon. Well, sorry, one of them did. They're great guys. They have really good content, and I highly recommend that you go and give them a listen.
Yeah.
That's my last plug.
And if we're doing plugs, go listen to the Just Saying podcast, because those guys are good. They're the guys running the tournament we were talking about earlier. I found out today they got YouTube as well, and they were doing.
Oh, really?
They were doing some stuff about the tournament today. I've not watched any of it. I think they had player.
I'll go give it a watch.
They got player interviews and sort of roundups of what happened. I think. Go look at AOS Shorts and find, first of all, Gary's Masterclass on Zilfin and Krohn's mega essay.
Yeah, I still haven't read all of it yet. It's a tome. It really is a tome.
It's actually more useful than the battle tome.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that one.
What else is there to plug? That's really KO.
The Honest Wargamer.
Yeah,
Always plug the Honest Wargamer.
Yeah, I'll put links to some of the stuff we've really talked about as well.
Yeah, man.
Like Alex's thing and Gary's Masterclass. And go find me on Instagram. I'm gonna plug myself.
Yeah, go find Lee on Instagram.
It's the Arcanine Admiral, same name.
Wait.
I'll have some pictures of terrain on there in the next few days, hopefully.
And I am Admiral Hayden on Twitter. So there you
go. There's nothing else to plug, is it? That's it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. Thanks very much for listening, everybody. We hope we didn't, put you to sleep. Come around next time for another good yarn about Kharadron Overlords.
Cool. All right. Thanks very much, everyone. Cheers for listening.
See you later, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy your gardening, mate.
Yeah, I'll definitely try. Okay. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.